Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, folks. Welcome to SKTV. Welcome to SKTV Live. Wow. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's have you share the show, please, as you join us. Good morning, and good morning. I don't know what to say, but let's get started. Uh, Good morning here. I don't know who called it, man. They man, I'm ready for them, man. We're ready for them. Yeah,
I won't be look. I won't be in your dream because you know already. I
they
have a
man,
lot of things about you. I won't
they
be all in
man, man.
your glasses.
They man, I said what I mean. Look, let me tell you something. You will not make life hard for us. We will lay salt in that nation.
Look,
You,
my young man. Let me tell you. You know, elections is an interesting thing. Not new. Whenever two of you are glued like this, but whenever election comes, there are little, difference or space between people because you are supporting another black, and somebody who are close to was supporting another black. So guess what? I get all of the information about you. So you can be mindful. This should what
my man, I see why you sticking. Don't bring out other noise there. Don't bring out other noise.
let me see. Let me go there. In fact, because the other people, I'm not here for that. I'm here for your stories. Your story, you gave me. I will tell President Joseph Imam to DM me so I can tell all of your story to him.
But I on a black, I choose you more black on a Zoom black. So how can
So you appreciate the show. This is the SKTV show. Go to the internet. Yes, I think today we're live on the Facebook. Thank God. Thanks to Steve. Thanks to Seku. Thanks to the team for the hard work. So that move.
folks share the show because in other news, the government paid to get someone a scholarship, and the scholarship will carry 250 Liberian to Canada and America, and they will come for stem cell training. Let me say it to the government first. Oh, we have been doing extensive research, and we're going to come up with our own plans. No one will intrigue and interest you to know that, first of all, that whole stem cell nonsense thing they're talking about, it started with a Ghanaian company, the company in Ghana, that Nicotech, or whatever you call it, generation. We're getting to that.
Okay.
This is
research. So
let me say,
research can be midnight. No problem I get with you.
let me say it again to y'all. This is another. No, maybe this is very, very serious. This is very, very serious. This is another scam. This is another way to siphon money from the Liberian people and put another set of loan on the Liberian people here where we'll be paying for the next few generations. Those guys have calculated. This is a scam, and the Liberian people must stand against it. We'll get into the details of it. These guys are off for some games, and the Liberian people must be aware. Well, the Liberian people know that decide what they want to do at the end of the day. But quite honestly speaking, this is a scam. This is a scam venture they are on, and the goal is to corrupt the people. So, newborn are either. We can't say again.
Steve, when you say their goal is to corrupt the people, then I guess what issue with you. Because the people, they're not corrupting the people from the one up to now. So which one is not corruption? Anything these people do is something that is beneficial to them. My brother. So when you use the word, maybe just say extra corruption, then I will agree with you. But on a very serious note, all of the things that people have been doing from the one up to now, it's just in the interest of them. Not being my brother. Send the war, other for war for change. For not new Liberia for war for backwardness. Because all the reason for war for, in fact, even somebody will say, I don't know what, you can speak to be because for me, I want to speak the simpler way. So our people, they will for change. But the thing we see now is like, in fact, it even double the video for because people
And
say,
then
mm,
in a little bit here, we'll bring up that NEP tech or whatever name they put on there, that Ghanaian company.
yeah, don't
No,
use
but
the word say corruption. Just say they want to double. They want to double their corruption. Yeah, I agree with you.
no, but another eating venture they made on to
Good.
Liberian people on another scheme. And our goal is not to fight government or bad mouth government. Our goal is to say the truth. Our goal is to say the truth. That is it. We're not against Joseph Boaka. We're not for Joseph Boaka. We're not against Kun. Our goal is to present the facts to the Liberian people. The Liberian people, they will decide.
But Steve,
But this
Steve,
particular venture smells fishy, and we'll get into it because we're being other news. Go ahead, Milburn, before we go into any social issue here.
yeah, no, I don't want to just buttress on what you were saying about fighting government against government or for government. Let me tell you, Steve, you know, government is for the people, by the people. So everything we are saying here is for the interest of the people. But you know, sometimes the little group of people or the small group of people who are benefiting, who getting a scratch cards, who feel that everything is okay. Look, let me be frank, Steve. Sometimes we'll come here, we'll waste all of our energy and time. Some of us will supposed to be those places, you know, having a very good time with our family members and friends and so forth. We take on this time to come here to educate our people about things, inform them about things. Then they say, oh, we are against. Nobody against. Government not for Joseph Waka. Before some of you say, oh, not like we are. Now we are is out. And the government for we are? No. The city, the government not for Joseph Waka. The government is there. If you go there, the way you're going to perform, we will talk about your performance, whether it's good or not. So, my brother, go ahead.
So, folks, let's share the show. Let's share the show. We are here today. The topic is, where is the Liberian people's budget? Talk about it today. Melbourne, in other news.
What happened there again in other news?
In other news, they freed my man yesterday.
Yeah, the one, yeah.
All was free officially yesterday. So those of you in your feeling, you'll be in your feeling for a very long time. They free my boy. And he's
no case, man. Nothing like no case.
No bond. And not even no case. When you say no case, it will be, it will be, it will be looking funny. They're not even no case. From a social standpoint, the man did nothing wrong. That's what the government is saying. So you won't go against the man, you go against the man. The man did nothing wrong in the eyes of the law. The man did what he was supposed to do as a man. That man supposed to do what the man did. The women who were there, who were going there, and they knew that they were married. Some of them knew that they were president's sister, they were president cousin, they were president nephew. They know. They know. Now we know. Now we know now who the real cheater they are. We know you're now. Maybe you understand. We know who the. Let me catch you on social media, other places calling men cheater. Let me catch you.
No, that one. Same this thing happen.
Let me catch you. Maybe I've been waiting for some of our sister then, our mother then, who could to cause men dogs and
yes.
pigs and men.
Or nomenclature that for me, and I'm very like to hear from some of our women.
Let me catch your hypocrite. Let me catch your hypocrite calling men dog. I challenge you, you go call men dog now. You go call men dog. You ain't able. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. That 400 of you were on video. Not only one. You know how many one can cover in 400? I'm talking about
some of them, Steve, and some of them that walk out of their marriages or their homes in the name of cheating, now they are regretting.
My dear, I call on all the men who your woman slept with that man. Leave that woman. Go get a different woman.
No, I got support you now.
I call on you as part of the massive support for our gender. We have suffered, we've come a long way. The women have been cheating and abusing us. It's time for us to together.
I'm not in another campaign. The other campaign, I'm not part of it.
But
Yeah,
Melbourne, when I'm in the campaign.
yeah, the other campaign, I'm
When
out.
in the
Yeah,
campaign, we don't trust you.
count me out.
We don't trust
Yes.
you.
Forgive.
We
No,
don't
the
trust
reason
you.
that the
Mama,
reason
we don't
that
trust
Steve.
you. We can tussle and tussle. We don't trust you.
No, I agree. I agree. Don't trust me. But let me say what I want to say, right? I agree. Don't trust me is a right. And in fact, it is your opinion. But let me just say this, right? Sometimes we can be accusing people. Look, there's a saying that useless men can be jealous by way, right? So maybe it's possible that some of us that into some of the relationship today, we are overplus jealous. But at the end of the day, guess what? We are the one that even doing some of the bad things, some of the laughing here and then back to back. But by the time that person maybe see us or something, then we get he probably just know. So Steve, I agree with you. If a person want to leave, well, it's all right. But guess what? I'm also getting information that there's some leaked video of even the wife of our brother. So how that going to also play out?
My
So
man,
I'm here to receive some of the videos, but I don't want to receive the video because me, I'm practicing deacon. Please, you must not send anything to me.
I don't listen.
Go ahead, Steve.
My man, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Tell me
What people do, I don't subscribe to people that everybody can write in their choices. I don't go watch funny thing and funny people. I'm not into that. I'm not interested in that. All I'm saying is I support that guy and I stand with him 100% from a social standpoint and from the local team. Men, we are winning bigly. We are winning bigly.
So is that elections?
And we win.
That
We
man,
win.
well,
Listen to your own thing. What you say? We winning. Mr. Kane, welcome to the show. Welcome. You came on the show. We are still on social effect before we switch to politics, but we are winning from the local team. We're winning bigly. The men. Look, Mr. Kane, 2025 looking bright for us, the men. Finally, we are being liberated. Finally, our cries have been heard. Finally, the gods of Adam is standing for. Oh, Mr. Kane, you know that been following the news there? I see you haven't been following the news. There is a gentleman from Equatorial Guinea who made his name. Can you imagine 400 women cheated with one man, but then they can still call men cheaters? Can you imagine that?
Hold on, 400 video or 400 women?
400 women on video.
So all 400 different video? I mean, different women?
Well, and I see the video there for what is reported. They even arrested and they have to free the man because, Lord, let me tell you something, Mr. Kane. We spoke in the interest of men. We are not going to tolerate men being marginalized and abused. So we finally found out that women are the cheaters.
How?
You know what I mean? 400 women cheat with one man. Some of them are pastor wives. Some of them are married women. Some of them are government officials. Some of them even related to the president of the country. So what does that say? So we are being vindicated, Mr. Kane. As we speak, look, I feel so proud to be a man that I don't even know what to do. Yeah.
So Memo, what say you?
Well, like I said from the beginning, that indeed, for me, there's this saying that men are useless, men are none. Most of the our sisters or our mothers or our women, they always put it in the voice just because maybe sometimes, even when you are communicating, just 10 messages, some of them they get angry, things that they haven't seen. They get angry and leave the relationship, like this and that. But again, with the news coming up, speak volume. I think about 4 observations from the entire episode. Someone will say that is, no matter how truthful, how religious your wife is, she will cheat. No matter how rich, no matter how poor your wife is, she will cheat. No matter how strong, how serious you are as a man, your wife will still cheat. So there are so many things that I learned from that. So for me, I put behind me what they call jealousy, because no matter what you do, no matter what happens, no matter the situation, because women will say, maybe you give me money, but you not give me time. Maybe when you gave me horse, but you're not around. So many excuses, man. It's a good. So for me, that's my observation for the entire situation.
Well, I don't got no fish to fry in the other one because that one is too plenty. Yeah, for 400%. That one is not natural. There should be something attached to that. I don't think that's just about woman business. I don't think
Yeah,
that's
but it's a kind of I agree with you that it's looking funny and fishy, to be quite honest. I agree with you. But from a social standpoint, it exposes the other genders. You understand? It exposes the other gender. I mean, let me not ask, I'm sorry for the S there. It exposes the other gender that they have been accusing of all this stuff. We have been spending time asking God to vindicate us as men. Yeah. And God has answered our prayers. And so we need probably apology from the women to apologize to us for accusing her all this time. And if possible, maybe they can organize something set to appreciate men for being who we are. And finally, Mr. Cannon, finally,
just for sleeping with 400 women.
No. They appreciate for them to appreciate men for helping other women, because that man was a help to other women in our society from a social standpoint. And I appreciate him for doing that. I do, and I stand with him. By the way, that leaving a social issue going somewhere else. Somebody say I'm talking Tabata. Okay, no problem. I will talk Tabata. And I get no problem with that. The only thing I'm saying, we appreciate men and we'll go from there. No, let me say that. Let me say that, Mr. Okane. Look, the way I'm looking at you right now, from just your physical morphology, I can feel the appreciation you have for men. You
can feel what?
The appreciation you have for men.
No. I'm not. Yeah, I don't have no appreciation. Don't put me in your talk. I don't appreciate nobody.
The women so they appreciate men.
No one too much.
No, Mr. Okane, also see the women so appreciate men. And you know who's going to lead our charge? We'll ask Glendale. You know, Glendale, she's doing a very, very good work in the community. So we'll ask Glendale Junior to help us lead that charge and our focus. Let me tell you something. First of all, she need to organize our focus group. In that focus group, they will 10 men. You understand? They will 10 men. Look, that was a rescue mission in Equatorial Guinea.
So that the guy you were talking about yesterday said to free him?
That a man, Mr. Okane, that a man who was celebrating. Remember last night we were chilling, the celebration was going on? That that man was celebrating last night. You remember last night we did it?
So what they arrested him for?
Hey, God. Now the same question. Look, Mr. Okane, remember last night we were eating pork cassava with red oil? Why people are funny we haven't helped and say like dinner?
Mr. Okane, you don't they forget one drink cassava and what?
Yeah, that's what we did last night.
Just pure cassava with salt and red oil.
Red oil. Look, remember we ate hot last night.
So you want me now to put
nothing, just cassava.
No, I don't agree. If Steve is saying that he was with you last night, Steve, you want me to put a secret outside?
Yes, please go ahead and do that.
But that one too. That one ain't lie.
No, Melbourne, last night I was hanging out with a veteran, but for security reasons, I couldn't expose the veteran because the veteran was celebrating too. Look, we had a men's meeting and we celebrated.
I wasn't celebrating.
Oh, I see.
No, Melbourne.
We will forget about we're not celebrating anything.
That was a small celebration. But anyway,
cassava.
You know
is there a fresh cassava, Steve? Because look.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, Melbourne. It was
and the cassava here too. Some of them better than the one you get over there. Sir.
Yes.
Very raw, and it tastes really good.
My man, you know
and we're talking about red oil from Africa. Raw oil.
Yeah, we're not talking about funny cassava. The real rape oil, when you eat, you can feel it all in your jaw, yeah. You can, get a sense of rape oil in your jaw, all behind here. That the kind of rape oil we ate last night. Maybe we ate out there, and then guess what? We drank water when we were finished. So as you see, what I
but
talking
I
about.
say pound one and two second because anytime come that me I won't go.
I don't drink palm one, so I never ask for it.
No, you're digging. Stop it. Anyway, welcome. What's up, man?
Maybe you need to ask Honorable Representative Diego Colva because you don't want to say the president can
pound one test.
The president will not pass the pound one test. So, Mom, man, what's up? What's going on?
Man, nothing much. Yeah, taking it one day at a time, following issues.
But what happened yesterday? Yesterday, no show, and a lot of people don't want to be donating to SKTV no more. Eh?
I really don't know what's going on. That one we'll talk about it later.
I'm sure only one person said on cash out yesterday from the father.
That's horrible. That's bad for SKTV. That's not a business model. Maybe I don't know. Maybe there could be a reason, but we gotta caucus about that anyway and see what's going on.
Yeah. So Steve, back to you guys. What's going on?
What are you saying?
Yeah, no, Monk. Like who said yesterday, we didn't have the show because we had some technical problems. That we tried to resolve, and I'm glad that it is resolved. Today we are back on air. From the social standpoint, just to bring up today really quick. Our guy from Equatorial Guinea has officially released from prison, as you can see. And we are very elated. We are glad that at least, look, let me tell you something, we have been vindicated after years of insult, public disrespect to us, the men. Let me tell you something, I've never been proud to be men, because I never lived in the days of Solomon. So I can't relate to that.
Call you by Chairman on the show. Go ahead.
Relate, but I feel very proud to be a man alive at this stage of my life, having one of our boys who finally exposed the whole issue. Well, I don't know what you say. We'll get a reaction quickly before we can move on. Because last night we did have a celebration. We did. In the celebration, we ate roasted cassava and red oil. Celebrated bigly, I can tell you that. So I think for the rest of this year, it looks like 2025 looking good for men. It looks like it.
The guy man issue.
Yeah.
I don't know what you said.
But let me tell you something. The guy in Equatorial Guinea, there are more allegations and more information coming up. It almost like he wanted to cause something like a constitutional crisis from a relationship standpoint, because he was targeting women that have husbands in the government too, in critical and key positions. So he wasn't just having random sex, he was having targeted sex. And he was in a position of influence also, so people shouldn't take that out. But like you said, I think I agree with you on the part when you say men. Let me tell you something, Steve. I love science. I love to read about science. I like studying. You into social science and you study human behavior. We live by societal expectation. Our whole life is programmed. People were meant to, or people were programmed to believe that men are cheaters by nature. That's why they keep calling men a dog. There is nothing in society that backs men. Whether you like it or not, that's just the reality. Everything is to protect the female and to put the men out there. But when you have sex with that kind of that number of women, it raises a problem. And when you do research, let me tell you something, in relationship, women get bored easily than men. So the question I keep asking social scientists, the women get bored easily than men, then who is more likely to cheat? Because if you're tired with somebody, then most likely looking for an alternative, right? There are women out there who are more committed, that respect themselves, that will be loyal to their husband no matter what. But the number does not add up. Even when you go to the Family Research Council on their website, women file in for divorce 3 times more than men. You know that? When it comes to a relationship, that statistic I'm giving you right there. So when it comes to the thing about cheating, like I keep telling people, men are logical, women are emotional. Or men will have sex with no emotion attached. That's why a man can be married to his woman. He can go out there, he will do something crazy. By the end of the day, he will go back to his wife. Because of the very same societal expectation, there are lots of women that cheat, but they are very good in hiding their footprint. It's easy to find out men cheating, but because of the expectation placed on women, So even when they cheat, they will try to cover it up. So the only way you can tell women when that a woman is going to cheat is from her behavior, not from her action, because if you try to look for it, oh, you would never see it. Men are not very savvy when it comes to covering their tracks in cheating. So the common consensus out there, oh, men can cheat, men can cheat. Yeah, we know men can cheat, but equally so too, women can. But get that they radar they don't focus on the women as opposed to the men. That's why I keep saying everything in society, the expectation is placed on men, not women. So it will never be fair in the code of public opinion. So you can keep that group, but that gets the reality.
Yeah. So folks, before we turn to the politics really quick, Glendale Chain Juniors will announce the day for men appreciation. Once she let us know, SKTV will announce it officially. We have a flyer up. We have the Cash App number. And in fact, the Cash App number, she will host the program, but the Cash App number will be diverted to a man. Or men will oversee men money. Women will not oversee men money. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Just so we're clear. So we'll pick one of us on the show to make sure we have our Cash App there with the money so it can come to us. And we, the men, will count the money and divide it among ourselves and let y'all know how much your contributed. So to the women, thank you in advance. For some of you who are willing to contribute to this venture, we appreciate you. Thank you for appreciating men. You know, that's why also will be doing long time ago. So helping to remind you will not be your body. So Glenda, we're looking forward to the date and the time and the venue. We'll be looking forward. We'll be reaching out to you after the show for us to coordinate here. Thank you so much. But let's move on really quick to something else that the government is doing before we get on to the big topic for today. The big topic for today is where is the Liberian people budget? And where are we going with this? But before we get to that, the government, I said the SKTV were going to be doing some serious investigation. And Monk might have to go back to Ghana like he did with the Ayololo buses and the yellow machine. Monk, there is a scheme that the government is trying to pull up here. They want to, according to them, get a 25 million loan to send 250 Liberians, quote unquote, abroad to study. They're doing a STEM program wherein they will study math, science, and technology, and all the different things. Yeah. And the goal is they will come back to Liberia. So $25 million in loan. So we're looking at a company that they are working with, but that company is also based in Ghana.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, Monk. Amen. Why I call for all to discuss when you would like to go earlier, but you were busy, so we can settle everything because we know once you bind there, you will come with the fact again and we hit these people with the truth.
The next how they call this or Brussels will be leaving in a couple of hours. Maybe I can come out, I will be there in no time.
Yeah, so over the next few days, Monk will be going to Ghana to definitely do the research on behalf of the SKTV, like we did with the Ayololo bosses. And we'll tell you, it will be left with the Liberian people, we'll tell you. But from all indications, from what it looks like, from what I know about the STEM program or whatever it is, based on the background research I've done, how many Liberians are interested in science courses in the country? How many Liberians participate in science and math courses? What are most of our students go to law, they go to financing so that they can go work at a bank or whatever it is. Who doing science courses over there for the most part? How do you do the selection of the 250 students? You said they're going to come to the United States and Canada according to you, and they're going to come back after 5 years. I found this to be interesting, Monk. Even though we have not delved into everything yet, we'll come up with a full report. But what say you, Monk? It sounds very fishy. I believe this is another stunt. I don't know what you say.
I saw the headline. The only difference was I didn't read the detail of that particular article because my understanding was I thought it was a bunch of donors that were making that funds available. I never knew that they were going to take loan on the country's behalf to send students here to come and study STEM courses. I don't know about that because my understanding was I thought it was the same international partner to say, okay, maybe they want to help prop up the educational system by giving people incentive to go and study STEM courses. Because I know when it comes to STEM courses, we don't even have the job for that in Liberia. And when you come to America, if you are into these STEM courses, they don't even want for you to go back home anyway because they know it will benefit America when you're into technology, engineering, mathematics. That's why they got an H-1B visa for in this country when it comes to immigration as well. Because these things, they are very, very, they are delicate courses. And when you come for study in this country, they want for you to stay here. Because when you're into technology and math and engineering, they benefit a lot when it comes to job or manufacturing and technology. So not too many students that will come here to say they want to study STEM courses and see themselves going back because they are incentive for them to stay here also. So, and you said it right. We into business administration, maybe finance and business management, sociology. I don't know about this thing about Liberia putting $25 million into STEM courses, because you could give students some hands-on skills. Like I always say, the whole thing about a college degree. Look, Steve, they got other technical colleges, I mean, or institution where in that same West Africa that you could spend little, you could spend far less than sending someone here to a Harvard just to come get a master's degree in political science, when you could send 5 or 6 students to go do industrial plumbing right in Ghana with certification that can add more value to the economy, as opposed to paying 300,000 for a student or 250,000 to some Ivy League school only for him to come here to go and lead a protest line and be shouting muya muya. I don't understand, but my understanding, like I said from the beginning, I thought it was donors giving those funds. I didn't know that it was a loan taken on behalf of the Liberian people in the name of STEM courses. So I'm surprised hearing it from you.
It is a loan, and the company that they are partnering with, and here is I will read a mission and the vision statement. The Netcotech, they call themselves Center of Excellence. They're based in Ghana.
Okay.
And here is the information about the mission. The mission is to improve quality of life for underdeserved populations, particularly in rural Africa, through education in technology, healthcare, economic development, and entertainment. But here's the vision: to become a sustainable world-class institution that re-educates rural Africans, enabling them to fully participate in the global economy and sensitizing the international community to issues of rural development. So this company is based in Ghana. Like I said, we're going to do some extensive research.
Oh yeah,
you know what caught my attention, Monk? You know what caught my attention about this company? This company, what they do, they start from elementary to build students up. But they are saying, the Liberian government is saying that they're going to carry these guys to go to earn their masters. The question becomes, what did these guys earn their bachelor's degree in?
Yeah, before you can do master in STEM courses.
Masters in this course. So, Mr. Kane, I don't know what saying you, because we'll be coming all the research. We just
Mr. Kane, almost like somebody who can write a simple HTML trying to do programming language. Like, you get a background, you get no foundation in STEM courses, and you come to do STEM courses. But anyway, you got to go ahead, man. I just want to make that point.
Mr. Kane, we can hear you. Your phone, you're muted.
Yeah, so I was saying that, honestly speaking, I don't know if Joseph Boga government, whether they have any priorities. I think everything they do is to create a project, create a loophole where they can get more money for themselves. They can get kickbacks. Just like we are Road project, Barrow medicine, all the Barrow we are creating, it was to get a kickback. So if Joseph Boakai is doing the same thing, Joseph Boakai on that two things, you create traveling from one place to another, or you go create some kind of business and get the money out just for them to get the money. So let's say if they take out $25 million for some kind of project, scholarship, whatever that is, and at least spend $5 million, then they will get 20 million.
Yeah,
that's why that is exactly what it's all about. So all the things you guys are talking, they don't matter. They don't care about that. They just want to have something going on. They will call it a project, but the purpose is to use it as a means to exploit the country.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Khan. Just before we go to Bill Bond to update us on what's going on in the country, I think Glenda makes a very good point. She said Mr. Cummings has a STEM school in Liberia, which is truth. But then she also said we should do the research, which is fair. Like I said earlier, the Ghanaian school that they're partnering with, the Netcotech that they're partnering with, this Ghanaian school starts from a very early age. The question becomes, why don't the government use this money to invest in children from back there in Liberia, if the government is going to go that route, invest the money that they can account for how many students you can be able to help subsidize, whether that the program is the companies is running in Liberia or other STEM program that you can bring teachers to help build our students from a grassroots perspective, let them go to the university later on in Liberia, graduate with a bachelor's in these different programs, focus on these different areas, and then eventually transition. That's how it's done. You don't just come and say you went to a bunch of people, grown-ups or whatever it is. Yes, there are kids, there are younger people who are doing these things. But we have to invest properly. And I agree with you that, taking the loans, it doesn't make any sense, truly speaking, if it's not to get back and so forth. I believe that is the sole purpose. But let's go to Melbourne really quick so you can give us the update from Liberia, then we'll come strictly into
just before Melbourne get the update, I want to respond. The statement that Glenn is making here, that's a whole different thing. That's apple to oranges. In the case of Ghana, they don't want to start early. I mean, when Mr. Cummings opened that STEM school, I don't know about the foundation. I don't know about the kind of investment, talking about nationwide, right? In the case of Ghana, they start at an early stage. In Ghana, they are even partnering with corporations in America, whether it's Open Lab, whether it's Cisco, whether it's Microsoft. These guys got certification program running in Ghana. So at least it makes sense to say you're making that kind of investment in Ghana, but you cannot say you will put $25 million to bring students here to come study STEM courses because you don't even have the basic foundation in it. Even if Mr. Cummings school will try, but the question is, how many students are there to say you want to make your nationwide program? So it's just another scheme. Because for Ghana did that early investment. They get a platform. They partner with companies in America, like I said, Open Lab, RPM, Microsoft. These guys all have programs and certification running in Ghana. So it can make sense that Ghana will invest in something that did not in the case of Liberia. It's just another scheme again, like Mr. Cannon said. But go, maybe.
To the point, Monk, Ghana also has the infrastructure to accommodate the students in the different programs, whether you like it or not. The infrastructures are there. The electricity is running 24/7. Like you said, they have the experiences. In fact, they invite some of these professors and some of the other people from abroad to come and teach the students. They build up the same thing they have in South Africa. Other nations.
Steve, apart from the corporation are partnering with programs in Ghana, even the University of Ghana, Legon, they are offering a bachelor's degree in information technology. So are we offering information technology degree in Liberia? No. So it's not even an argument, bro. Don't waste your time.
Thank you. Well, Melbourne, we are up to you. Any update from you?
Yeah, so quickly before I even give the update, let me just say thank you to all of you. You don't know everything. And let me be frank, Steve, President Monk, and Siko, for us to even have the light from the former president, Mana Johnson said when she said, small light today, big light tomorrow. That was Ghana. Liberia was, in fact, all of our engineers, but even up to now, most of our engineers today that have been training some of our LEC workers or all of the electricians, they're from Ghana. So aside with two of you or all of you, when you say that, I think it's about time that we focus instead of wasting a lot of money. I think some of the West African countries around here, they are up to tax. So why can we go there and because we found them for a very long time, 2006. All of the Indians that came to Liberia to do United States, or in fact to make us to get current today, or we call United States today, they all come from Ghana. So again, anyway, that's the concept. Politicians will do what they want to do. They want to blank, maybe feel like maybe they want to do certain things, to confuse the people. That's their way of doing things. But for me, I start with all of you. So let's move on. Well, apart from the president submitting the budget of sending a letter to the chief clerk, informing the chief clerk that due to some holding and pulling between the lawmakers for the laws, the executive branch of government requesting for additional time, saying that they are no understanding, so they are consulting their experts or their lawyers as to which block to carry the budget to or to submit the budget to. So that also sparked a mixed reactions on yesterday. Mind you, yesterday was the 8th of November, And Liberia were expecting their 2025 national budget to be submitted to the House of Representatives for scrutiny or observation, but that didn't work out. And the executive branch sent out communication informing the chief clerk that due to some situations between the lawmakers of the lower house, they won't be able to submit the budget for now. So they are requesting for time. But also, apart from that, also we are also receiving information or a communication also from the ECOWAS bloc that in fact they are concerned about what's happening in Liberia, especially when it comes to the House of Representatives, about the situations, about things happening. So we are expecting that delegates to be in country from the 11th of this month up to the 15th, maybe to find out, or maybe to settle some of the situations that are ongoing. Apart from that, my brother Steve and Sekou and Monk, nothing much happening. We good. The weather condition here is okay. I think we are into the dry season and we are moving very strong as people.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Noble. I think that's very interesting to know that. Monk, I don't know if you have that communication from ECOWAS, or do you have that communication from ECOWAS?
Not really, but I saw an article on Front Page Africa about Tinubu coming to Liberia for some mediation because he thinks it put the political landscape in a very fragile state and it could lead to something else, maybe a constitutional crisis, like I always say on this platform. So I don't know, but I don't have the official communication. Maybe we could find it. Let me see if I can look for a real quick ECOWAS communication, right?
Yeah, but why you're looking for aid? I mean, from a broader perspective, what does that say? You know,
It
what does
says
that
that we are
say?
getting to where we wanted to reach. I mean, look, Steve, we said it on the show. We could run in a crisis, and you got two. Look, let me tell you something. I shared a video in the chat group. I mean, less than 7 minutes about Clarence Gar. The whole idea that that Fonati was trying to institute or bring about some kind of an audit and the other lawmaker. That's also a lie. Matter of fact, they are the other group on the other side are the one making the accusation that he got some insulting to do because he served a deputy speaker and there were funds that were allocated in his budget that he walked away with anywhere between 7 million plus. So the whole idea that for Antikofa trying to bring an audit to expose the other side, now the other side saying that no, you part of the criminal enterprise as well. Matter of fact, you walk away with certain amount of money that not you were never entitled to. So I don't know. And when we get to that point and they say they're going to the full bench, now when you go into the full bench, now you're talking about real business, we are entering prime time. Like I told you, this thing will go through stages. It was Fred or George, I know how to call Yemi Kwekwe, and now they say they are pushing it to the full bench. Now you got the entire bench of the Supreme Court getting involved. That's why I keep telling you guys. They say when you eat it, you don't open your mouth when the spoon in the bowl, right? You got the spoon got to reach certain place before you can open your mouth. And we are getting there because now the ECOWAS Parliament themselves try to get involved. They send you a representative in the involved. We will walk into a constitutional crisis. Then maybe we'll find solution to set precedent for the future. Until then, let the process play out. That's what I keep saying.
Yeah, but Melbourne, let me send you that video. I think I have that video. Maybe you can upload it. Let me send you that video, I beg you, so that you can play a very short. I think it was one of the representatives accused. And this is getting very interesting. This is getting interesting, folks, because it seems as though these guys are also only exposed Fonati Kofa. Where did I find that video this morning? Was it you that tagged me in it?
I'll send it to you. Look in the SKTV chat group, our chat group.
Yeah. Yes, it's in here. Milpon, let me send it to you. This is getting very interesting. Milpon, if you can please upload this into, I'll send it to you, Milpon. So we have the ECOWAS communication here. Monk, you have it or not?
I won't get it yet, but you can. Let me see. For me, I let it find it because my inbox for some reason.
I can send it to you on Facebook too as well.
Pull it on my page. Pull it on my wall. I like you. I don't pull in my inbox. I don't know, for some reason my messenger is not syncing with the Facebook. Every time someone sends me a message, it takes forever for to open it, no matter which device I'm using. Something is not right. I need some kind of configuration.
I don't even know how to put on WhatsApp.
I mean, just go to my page and let you click on my profile and just put it right on my front page. It will be right on the wall.
Okay, hold on. Let me copy. Hold on. I think it's the communication from what the people they need.
Steve, is this the video I'm talking about?
Where is it?
Yeah, from Clarence Gar.
Yeah, but you gotta know the video. Yeah, but I can see it.
Okay, if you not see, okay, I think this is the video that you're talking about. So let me see.
Okay, very good. I read there. Very good. But more the other supposed to ready now. Make it bigger, please, if you can. So
no problem. Okay.
Monk, I posting on your wall.
So you play now?
Yes, please.
All right. Okay.
A statement. The House of Representatives have a consolidated statements. What do I mean? A financial statement that comprises of two or more statements. It considered to be a consolidated financial statement. The office of the Speaker runs a separate budget. So the Speaker office should be made to provide a financial statement for a transactions. The office of the Deputy Speaker should ensure that they have a financial statement submitted to the controller. So when this audit process was going on, we requested the Speaker, during your time, because the time on a review, the audit period on a review was from 2018 to 2023. We asked that during this particular period, you serve as Deputy Speaker. Can you provide us your financial statement? Because there is something alarming. Mr. Speaker, in 2022, this legislature appropriated $1,500,000 to the office of the Deputy Speaker. But surprisingly, we run a cash-based budget. In accountancy, a cash-based budget is a plateau when cash is received, expenditures are recognized, not on an accrual basis. We have a DIA dive into that. So a cash-based budget, whatever expenditure that is showing in your line, it means that was the cash you receive. Mr. Speaker, we appropriated, as Deputy Speaker to your office, we appropriated $1,500,000. Your office received $5,600,000. What? Well, he was Deputy Speaker. Yes. $5,600,000. I will forward those documents to you, that you can make them public to me. Now, in 2023, this same body appropriated $1,100,000. Well, you receive $4,038,000. In the 2 years under review, the August body appropriated $2,600,000 to you, but you receive a cap of $9,700,000. Mr. Speaker, there are laws on the book, the PFN law, the budget transfer law, that give rise to the transfer of funds when the budget is in full swings. Let me summarize this. The budget transfer law provides that any transfer by a single or cumulative transfer up to 15% should come to the legislature for approval. 1. 2. If you request for additional funding, the Ministry of Finance should notify the party that will be affected by that transfer. So Clarence Guy wrote the finance ministry that my budget is $2 million now, but I need extra $4 million because I have so emergency. Because it's on an emergency basis. A transfer could be done. Emergency basis. Now the Ministry of Finance deemed it necessary. The presidents and everyone said no, this transfer is necessary because of the crisis. But they will be cutting it from Kevin budget. So Kevin, they will notify you, Kevin will be cutting $4 million from your budget because of the emergency. That Kevin will be aware to adjust his expenditure in lines with his priorities.
Oh, okay.
The speaker, as deputy speaker, in 2 budget years, walked away with 7 million of the Liberian people money. When Maggie County had a referral hospital burned down, there was no money to build it. The Grand Bassa people are suffering from health centers today because it was burned down the same way by some electrical fault. The street of Maggie needed to be paved. But the speaker, as deputy speaker, walked away with $9 million. I mean, $7 million extra from his budget. When you do the percentage to the variance, the variance percentage to his budget, is 267% of the budget. How possible can a deputy speaker office receive more money than the vice president? He received more money than his speaker, received more money than the pro temps, than the chief justice who has senior him in ranking. The speaker fails to provide this information to the auditors. He knows that he will be cut pens down. There's a precedent case. The LCC is prosecuting the FIA along with the security advisors to former President Weah, the finance ministers, and the acting justice minister on ground that they violated all of the law and transfer money to the FIA at the detriment of the public. A deputy speaker, if the speaker feels sincere, this is why I send you all of the other engagement letters. This is from April. There's nothing stop the speaker at the head of the legislature to have audited this body. As up to this time, you want to say people are hiding their audit. Let me tell you, Kevin, the 43 men that have been together before the deputy speaker joined us. You audit the house, you bring forensic auditors. There is no one of that 43 men will be held liable.
Do they want to be audited?
Yes, this is what we're saying. There's a resolution also being passed around that people are signing a resolution also proud to the resolution of a removal to even impose an audit on the House of Representatives. This is something that everybody welcome. But the first step is audit the House, but the deputy speaker should make available his financial statement and with an explanation of who authorized the $7 million, how he got the $7 million, what he did with the $7 million, and what has he said? He appeared on Spoon Show. Can you imagine the pathetic thing about the speaker is to appear on Spoon Show? And when the question was asked to him, he said he was not aware people use a line. It means he alluding to it that people use a line, that he agreed to it that that money went through his account. And his office staff informed him. He got to know later, but it's 2 weeks plus since the speaker appeared on Spoon FM. The speaker is here to provide to the public who are those that use the accounts, who signed for the money to be removed from your accounts, and who received that money. He yet to inform the public on that. We are not talking about $3,000-4,000. We are talking about $7 million United States dollars. $7 million United States dollars. It's not something that we should overlook.
Oh God.
Well, folks, thank you for speaking and staying with us. Very, very interesting. Ms. Akana, how do you react to what's coming from Mo's background?
Mo, you guys wanna something?
Yeah, I think let me mute my stuff and put it on the mic.
More quickly before you read a communication from ECOWAS, Mr. Akana, how do you respond to what you heard, or how do you react to what you heard from one of the members of the legislature, a representative? I think Clarence got from Maggie County.
Yeah, so that is getting quite interesting, and we've been getting different communications. I think the whole issue in the House of Representatives is more political. It's all about politics and people fighting for what is in it for them. This has nothing to do with fairness. It has nothing to do with credibility. It has nothing to do with the common people. This is all about what is in it for the people, in the House of Representatives. Hold on 1 second, Steve. Let me take this call. One of the
Sure.
representatives calling me.
Sure. Let's go quickly to Monk. Monk, how do you react to what you heard? What's going on?
Let me change room here because I got some little noise in the background, and then I will respond quick, like in the next 2 minutes. 2 minutes, I will be with you guys.
Sure. Melbourne, how do you react? Because this is an exposure of the speaker. I mean, allegedly from what Clarence got said, Representative Clarence got said.
So the
This
question
is a big fight now. It look more like in my view, like a street fight now. Where in
Yes.
the representatives?
So the big question, so Steve, the big question is, why when all of these allegations are so forth when they voted for the quote-unquote speaker? Sometimes, like we always say on the radio or on the show, before you vote for somebody, I think you should maybe do your own background check, find out all of the information and so forth. But some of the people who are talking, they were camped for almost a week or 2 weeks. Quote that in fact they were the majority bloc, in fact they're going to vote for the speaker. Now he's talking. Well, we say yes, that's good. It's never late. Some will say it's better late than never. So again, for me, Steve, I think it is frustrating. Like some of us, when we go behind the scene, always telling our people, money is here. This country is rich, but because the kind of leaders we have, the leaders are the problem. So today we hear all of these things. Now, to that lawmaker, is he willing to tell the Liberian people that yes, indeed, with all of the monies, the way we use your money, the way we're spending your money, we're now ready to spend the money the right way. We're now ready to cut our salaries, our benefits, and so forth. I will say no. He's not going to even agree to that. So all these things that we're saying is just about politics. Who's going to be on committees? Who's going to have or maybe campaign money for 2029? That's just it, my brother. So let me just talk.
Yes, Melbourne. I mean, that's interesting. Mr. Kane is back. Mr. Kane, we're not hearing you, Mr. Kane.
What I'm talking you doing right now.
Steve, I wasn't really bad because Melbourne was talking about himself. You running the show, and then he wanted to say something to you. We're not saying anything. Your camera was off, but I'm still trying to pick up some stuff right in the background.
Yeah. I'm listening to Melbourne, Mr. Kane. How to turn my camera on. I'll do some, but Melbourne, I mean, the point that you're making at this point, it's at this point, yes, you can question Representative Guy, which is fair, but the allegation against the speaker that is out there, we also got to look into it, and that is the case in point here, because I mean, we can't skip the allegations and say, well, the person who bring the allegation, they're not credible. Why if the allegations are credible as well?
I agree with you, Steve. And yes, right now, the deputy speaker, who also been in our house for the past 18 years, also quote, understand or maybe know so many information. So who knows whether maybe he's the one leaking out so many information. Well, we will not say he's the one or not. But the point here is, Steve, how far we're going to go with all the information? Look, this country, Liberia, will be here with all the information, but there's nothing being done, but even if it is true to that Speaker Kofa is corrupt, and so far, okay, I resigned from the speakership. What's going to happen next? Nothing. All these people, all the lawmakers tomorrow, they're going to be on some of the first committees at the end of the day just to run campaign, just to get themselves prepared for 2029. Can you imagine, Steve? Someone, in fact, the district, the people gave you 6 years authority or 6 years job and say, we want you to represent us for the next 6 years, even in less than 1 year time, before this campaign. So, my father, what do we expect? Nothing. For me, I'm frustrated. I will tell you for free that all the noise, everything they're doing is just in an interest. Nothing going to come from all of these things. By the time the speaker resigned or been removed, all the problems solved. That means like problem solved. But it's frustrating. It is bad. Nothing going to come from all these things. Because man, you even the former comment minister that even resigned today. Where's the news? What we hearing? Nothing much, nothing more, nothing. All the investigation, everything go on the table. So just Steve.
Mark, what say you? Based on what you've heard, it seemed more like the representatives, the guys from the majority black. I think they took it from the court. They took it from the House of Representatives. Is there more like a street fight, or what is it now? Is it exposing the what is it? Because I'm very confused.
No, Steve, that's why they left it open-ended. That's why you cannot use their own standing rules and order to come up with a verdict. That's why you cannot even use the Constitution. That's why even the Supreme Court, you can't even count on the Supreme Court. Some people say, oh, give them due process. No, they know exactly what they were doing. And we keep saying on SKTV, everything that is happening is about control, it's about stealing from the people, it's about leveraging the budget. And that's just why this guy is confirming to you. He is saying, he knows there are budget laws, right? There are financial statements. Even if you're getting due process, that is why I believe in the theory than any other theory that is out there about, oh, it's political maneuvering, it's all about the executive trying to interfere. My thing here is these guys know what they are doing. It's all about having debt on each other. The question is, at the end of the day, they're going to level an allegation against this man, but they know there are other people that are involved with the whole issue of the speaker walking away with an additional, look, like bro, it's a sad place, an additional $7 million in 2 budget cycles. So the question is, even the Clarence guy in order that court, they said the majority black, they are not fighting because they are fighting for Liberian people. No, they want their fair share of that too. They want to control the very same budget. So come this time around, they who are on the other side can be the one to benefit. That's why I keep telling Liberian people, let this thing to play out, because the more it play out, the more information you will get. And then you will be able to determine who is a good guy and who is a bad guy. But unfortunately, in this case, there is no good side or bad side. So don't be in a hurry for them to go back to work. All you need to do, let it keep dragging on, and the executive will get involved. Now you're getting ECOWAS involved, but we all know this thing is about money. It's about stealing from you. It's about getting rich. You're talking about a man taking in excess of more than $1 million plus, and then within 24 months or within 2 budget cycles, he's walking away with an additional $7 million. Look, I think our government is about who wants to be a millionaire. I don't think it's about government anymore. And that's what everybody is doing in that country. The more you can steal, the more funds you can get your hands on. That's just about it. If you are the average president like bro, you can kiss a goodbye. It's just a cultural thing. It's not going to change. You hear the deputy speaker. So that's it.
So Monk, Steve, and Mabel, you know, it's getting very, very interesting. We have in our possessions both communications. The one that went to the speaker, that was signed by the president before, we have it. And then another one that was written addressing the chief clerk, that was received by the majority bloc, but also signed by the acting Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. So, I put the communications in our chat room there. Both of you, Steve and Mel, you guys can see it.
Yeah, I'm seeing it from.
In that document, the acting Minister of State is telling the majority bloc that they receive a communication from the Speaker of the House that no budget, no communication directly should come from the executive to the majority bloc. They're doing so, though that will be undermining the Constitution, and that will be against the law. But then at the same time, they're saying, but then the I think minister is saying we are also aware of the fact that the Supreme Court rejected whatever request the Speaker had. Everything the Speaker wanted, the Supreme Court rejected that and said that you guys can do, what you want to do. Then he say in the final analysis, because things going the way it's going, we are not going to send the budget as we promised to do. The president is making consultation. The president is talking to legal minds.
So talking to legal man like Thomas Fala.
Yeah. So the president, they're telling you now that the president is not going to listen to you people, not listen to the Speaker. The president will listen to the legal minds. They will advise the president, and the president will add in accordance with what advice that you're going to get from the legal minds. But then what is confusing and what also kind of solidify what we have been saying, that President Barker is aware. You think the president is supposed to be confused as to how the government is supposed to be conducting business?
That's a question. Sekou, you want me to answer that question?
Yeah.
Just before I answer that question, I always say on the show, I say the way in which you operating like bro, the people that are in elected office, they got one assumption. They believe that there are more dumb people in our country, and everyone all are dumb that they can play on our mind. If Joseph Baga know how a constitutional republic or democracy operates, right? Are there any legal minds that will be higher than the Supreme Court? If the Supreme Court is telling you we are raising or we are or lifting any state order, or how they can call it, how they call the name of the rate of prohibition. Who's also interpret? The budget is a law, and then the Supreme Court. So why would a president want to consult other legal minds? It's the same game that you have from Thomas Fala. Oh, I'm consulting with my guy before I can decide which side to go. No, this thing is total gamesmanship. They know exactly what they are doing, and it seems like the president will end up submitting this thing to the majority bloc, because at the end of the day, while they are fighting among themselves, they want to be given unrestricted access to control that budget, because there will be nobody supervising them. It will place to the executive advantage. And you think he will be in favor of this thing dragging on without the budget? No, they can't keep pushing the budget there, but at the end of the day, I will tell you, Sekou, he is more than likely to give it to the 42 member as opposed to Fanatico for Black. So everybody is playing game here. The Supreme Court also, like I said, they won their fair share, because I think Yega Koluba has a very simple question. He may not be a legal expert, but Yega Koluba said, if the people cannot even respect your order, then why are you lifting? It's just common sense. Now you get the president telling you, oh, I'm consulting on legal man. No, the highest decision body when it comes to legal scholars and mind in the country is the full Supreme Court bench. So why would the president be consulting other legal luminaries when you have the Supreme Court there? Look, Sekou, I feel sorry for our country, but that's what I can say for now. Steve, I don't know what you get to say, but I just about it.
Steve, the same question to you. You think the president doesn't know how to run a government? He doesn't know who's supposed to be receiving what?
Well, for all indications, Mr. Kane, it can be both. It can be that the president is in charge, as some claim, and some also claiming that the president is not in charge. However, I will go by the second one, that the president is not in charge. As evidenced by the 2 letters written, it seems a lot of contradiction and confusion. I mean, you can't have it both ways. So at this stage, what I will say, based on what I've seen, all the evidences, and the way President Joseph Yuma Braga has ran the government, like Monk said earlier, they don't have a priority. Their priorities are not set right. And I can also say here, I want to also confirm here and reaffirm, like we said on SKTV, which we have not taken back, President Joseph Boakai is fully aware of the halubalu going on in the House. President Joseph Boakai favors the majority over Fanatic Kofa, as evidenced by the fact that they keep dragging the budget, because the budget should have been submitted by now. They keep pushing this thing because they want to give the majority black the legitimacy so they can give them the budget. But they can't do it because the halubalu. So it's a serious problem that we have on hands here.
So Steve, to agree with your point, SKTV is reliably informed that the president and the entire executive, they are aware and they are part of the plot to remove Fanatic Kofa. All the things you heard from Musa Belete, Fanatic Kofa, and Fanatic Kofa supporters, that Joseph Boakai is not aware of what is going on, don't pay attention to it. It's all of those things that are part of the gamesmanship that they are playing. Joseph Boakai is aware, and those guys are working at the will and pleasure or by directive of the president. The president knows exactly what's going on. The problem, by Tuesday, those guys, the 42 members, they have called on, they have summoned some of the ministers, and also some director of agencies to submit to them, to go and report to them. They're going to have a section. They're going to have a conversation. So the fact that government officials, ministers, cabinet minister will be submitting to those guys, that is legitimizing whatever they are doing. That is recognizing them.
Yeah.
And we were also informed that after that, the budget will be coming to the chief clerk, and the chief clerk will submit it to Thomas Fala, and they will add on it.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and they will add on it, and then I asked, well, what happened to the speaker? He said, this is legislative politics. We just make noise. They didn't get any enforcement power. They didn't get no police. They didn't get no military. They will just make noise. At the end of the day, the other people will give up. They will give in, and they will follow the majority. So yeah, so it's a done deal. I think we said it here on this platform that there's going to be a fight. They're going to be back and forth. But at the end of the day, Thomas Pala, Fanatic Kofa got everything to lose, because the decision in Liberia is not based on the law. It's not based what is on the books. Everything is about what is in it for them. In fact, this person, the source even told me, Seko, why do you think the Supreme Court rejected everything the Fanatic Kofa asked for? You think the Supreme Court will do something to hurt or to get the executive angry? So it means that everything working in their favor, and Fanatic Kofa has nothing actually to depend on. They got the money, they got the Supreme Court, they got the number. They may not have enough number for to remove him legally, but they have the number. They call quorum. And with that, they use that to do whatever they want to do, and they will say it's legal. At the end of the day, they will preach. They will make their case, and you know who they go to at the end of the day to adjudicate as to who is right, who is wrong? The Supreme Court.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court already told you.
Yes.
That whatever you do is okay. So So there's no I mean nothing going to happen. I think for take over the sooner if I was over, I would not spend no money anywhere. I would not spend penny to try to win anybody to my side. This is politics. He's now working for him and some of his own people against him. So it's hard. It's hard to work. Imagine all the people that voted for him, they are not with him. Some of the people that didn't vote for him are some of them are with him. So at the end of the day, they will all give up. And those guys have stepped up their game. And they're even, we said it last time that there will be a lot of dishing out money.
Yeah.
And I was informed, my man, forget it. The thing you already got it here. And up to last night, there was a meeting last night at the hotel that they were in. And we getting some more update of that meeting. And we'll be sharing it with you guys. So a lot going on. A lot going on. By the end of the day, it's going to be hard for someone to survive. As long as the executive, especially the presidency, is with them. You think the IT minister, we learned that Grace B is not in town. Now, the guy who is the IT minister of state is the one writing those guys. The same writing he sent to the Senate, that's what he sent to the chief clerk of the renegade group. So what's going to happen? At the end of the day, the government going to recognize them. They will sideline Fanatikufa. They're not going to take it out of here and move because they don't have the number to do that. But when they sideline him, and then they having section, they're having, the government functions, acting on issues. You know what's going to happen at the end of the day? They will tell Fanatikufa and other people there, hey, you're not going to work, we'll declare your position a vacant. So, and whoever, at the end of the day, it's going to be a fight. But just bear in mind that it's going to be the Supreme Court. They're going to be the final arbiter to decide. The Supreme Court is telling you, we're not with you, Fanati. The people there, they got a number. They got a right to do whatever they want to do. So, you got to listen to them. It's over.
I'm laughing here because you see, there's a kind of when somebody write, when people write with intention. So when you're reading something when somebody wrote, it just tell you what's in their mind or how they are thinking.
Yeah.
Joseph Boaga is just taking the same script from how they call it, Thomas Fowler playbook. Thomas Fowler has always been with the majority black, but he was just putting up a show to make it seem like he was in sympathy with Fanatikufa. But we all knew that he was in bed with the majority black. The executive is in bed with the majority black. Let me tell you, Steve. Sekou just make it very simple. If the Supreme Court has signaled that they were leaning in Fanatikufa direction, at least you would have given the executive some kind of a reason to rethink her decision. But if the Supreme Court is not even leaning in the direction of Speaker Kofa, why make you think at the end of the day they will be successful? No. At this stage, because the executive want that budget to be operational, because the whole operation of the government depends on the budget. If Joseph Boaga will even spend extra money to remove Fanatikufa, that's what they will do. Because you can't stop the budget. Who made that statement? I think he the one said one monkey can stop the show, right? I think that was Speaker Snow, he made that statement again. So Joseph Boaga will not sit down for one monkey to come stop the whole government. No. So at the end of the day, like I said, whether you use constitutional means, whether you use your own standing rules and procedure on the House floor, at the end of the day, this thing is more than likely to go in the majority block way. That's why the guy told you. Those guys said, because we have the power to call for a quorum, we are now the plenary. You think they didn't know before making that statement? And read the letter. And you never gonna read the letter.
And in fact, Mong and Steve and Mabel, to inform you guys, I was told also, there was a question asked on the Spoon Network about whether or not they are ready to go and sit under Speaker Kofa, wherein they can have a quorum and also they can put in their argument whether the should recuse himself, and they can do business there. We were informed reliably that there will be no more quorum or section wherein all the 73 lawmakers will be in there, wherein Speaker Kufuor preside. They say that's not going to happen. No matter what happens, even if Speaker Kufuor decide to go to where they are, he will still not preside. Because I'm just telling you now, Monk, because if he presides over the section, there are certain things, there are certain procedures that he will follow, and they can play politics with it, and they can take those guys by surprise, and they'll be losing some of the legitimacy that they claim they have right now. By not allowing him to preside again, taking that rebellious posture, that is the only way they can claim number, that is the only way they can do their thing. But by the time they allow themselves to go and sit wherein Speaker Kufuor is presiding over the House, he will be the leader. He will choose who to give, suggestion. Who will say, I move, blah, 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 blah. Who will say so second that? And then it is the speaker will say who all in favor say yay, whoever is say not in favor say nay. And whatever number he gave, whatever count he gave, and that number I see. And he's the one can count.
Look, what Mr. Cannon say in the letter is just that we don't have time to read that letter, but it's in the letter and exactly what he just said. If you read the letter, you will know the intention of the president as to which way he's leaning. You don't need a rocket scientist. Yeah. The president's own letter just shows exactly what they are going to do.
And that's a question that keep coming into my mind back to back of Sekou that I want to ask you. So do you also see that as a serious blow to the speaker? Because mind you, though, the speaker, he was like 100% aligning with the president, associating, with the president, even traveling with the president. Now, that kind of must slap, someone will say, or, the kind of thing coming on his back.
Let me answer your question in a very short way possible. Political first problem started because he wanted to eat with two hands. And politics, especially in the legislature, you have cliques, you have your colleagues, you have associates, you have the general matter. Things that have to do with everybody. You play you play the game with everybody. Area wherein you have to form a clique. You can never be if you are in opposition, you can never be on the side of the government, on the executive. Because why? People who are with the executive, they will now allow you to get a certain proximity with the presidency because they will feel like you're not from their party, but you're trying to take their position from them. So they will not give you that chance. Secondly, if you try to alienate those who are standing with you, simply because you want to play a game, you want to be on the side of the executive, those who are supposed to be backing you when something happens, they will move from behind you. That's exactly what happened to him. You want to be with the CDCN somehow, at the same time, you want to be in bed with Joseph Boakai. Nobody says you should be fighting. But you got to show strength. He didn't show that you show weakness. So, and people that should be protecting him, fighting him, majority of them are with him. And people who he try to play game with, They don't welcome him. They feel like, no, God, we don't really need you. This is our government. You know, you can't be in bed with our president. They're thinking that we'll let it pass. So what's gonna happen? What happened right now? The president that he was actually trying to align with, he's not even there to protect him.
And Sekou, on a very serious note,
Oh God.
that even that you will travel with the president, and you know, while on it, or maybe on his travel, hearing the kind of news, I think I don't even know how the entire situation was calculated. Maybe the executive, like you are saying, they really planned this.
I don't know how it was planned, but I can tell you, whatever the case is, the idea is to make sure the same opportunity the CDC had, United Party want to have the same opportunity. CDC was the one leading the Senate, leading the House of Representatives, leading the executive, and also controlling the Supreme Court. That's exactly what the United Party want, and that's exactly what they will get. They already got they already have the executive. They have control of the. I can guarantee you 100%. They're already controlling the Supreme Court. Yeah, they're controlling it. I know that for a show for a fact. And also, the only thing they're planning to get right now is the House of Representatives, and they'll get it at the end of the day.
Wonderful. So quickly follow-up question to you and Steve, and that Mark. Are we really making progress in democracy? Because what you are saying, that started from 2006. From 2006 up to now, and we are still observing the same trend. So are we really making progress in democracy, or should we maybe one way or the other, quote unquote, maybe try another mean, maybe to get ourselves going? Because it's like things are not usually working. Because if the government control every branch, or maybe all the 3 branches, then I mean we're heading nowhere.
But it was like that during CDC time. CDC was controlling everywhere. That's why we didn't go anywhere. And Joe Baga too, that's what they want. It's not about the limited the governing system in Liberia. They're not about going anywhere. It's about how much they can get until their term expires. And Joe Baga, they're not getting enough because they feel like they're sharing it with other people who are not part of them. In order for them to have smooth operation of enriching themselves and exploiting the country to the fullest, is to make sure they will have no blockade, they have no obstacle. And that is to have somebody as a speaker who they will control, who will be in bed with them 100%, where they don't have to scratch their head whether or not they can make a deal without thinking. Do you know that money that was moved in the last budget? When financial government say they're going to investigate, they're going to come up with the funding, they're going to take action. That's why they say, you know what, we got to get them from here, got to rid of them here. That was their own speaker. There will be no investigation. People will talk about it 1 or 2 weeks, and people will forget about it, and that's it. So financial government is a very difficult position. I don't think he will survive. But I don't know, that's Liberia. They are spending money. He been trying to spend money. And I said this before. All those political hustlers, so-called advocates that he been spending money on, they will eat his money, but they may not have that much of an impact as to what happened to him. I think he will go because the other guy is in support of he leaving, and the other guy controls the executive, the judiciary at this point, and the Senate. So the hold on is the House of Representatives, and they already having at least 42 members. I mean, I was even told, but they might get the 49 by next week Thursday. Because some people are losing up already because they saw the money.
Okay. Well,
Somebody say we shouldn't laugh, but I mean, this is funny. This is not how a country is supposed to be, running. But I mean, we decided to get these people, to where they want to be. So we put them there. We give them exactly what they wanted as Liberians. So we have to live with the consequences.
so Monk, how do you
Not going anywhere? But what if they silence him? Nobody going to put machine gun on him to say move, or they're going to take police to go remove him. What if you are not functioning? And I can tell you, if the government eventually, if the executive eventually cooperate and start to work with those guys, the majority bloc, anybody, I can tell you, anybody try to obstruct or disturb them, they will use the power they have. They'll use the power they have to remove you. And Vandala Patrice say he was protesting. At the end of the day, he jumped on the motorbike and say he's going to regroup. Okay, any other person try, they will end up running away to go regroup, and they will never come back.
So Monk, how do you react? Definitely the question that Melbourne asked, I think is an important question. How do you react to that question before we go to the lines?
So, Steve, there was a reason that people who studied governance or government that told us that democracy is almost half of democracy to work in Africa. Democracy is now a form of government, just a system of government, the way how you do business. And we said it on SKTV. Since the inception of this case, we told people there is a constitutional aspect to this thing and there is an operational aspect to this thing. That's why those guys who claim to be in the majority black, they know exactly what they were doing. At the end of the day, no matter how you delay it, Fanatic Kofa will be a gunner. It's not because of the constitution, but in which the way how they conduct business in Liberia. All the executive is telling Fanatic Kofa now that these guys who called and said they're majority black, they do have an ally, and that ally is the executive branch. The executive branch will not compromise the budget because they say you just want to be the expert for explaining stuff easily, but I think Sekou broke everything down. Steve, do you think Joseph Boaga will want for Fanatic Kofa to be an obstacle to his budget, knowing fully whether he can get nothing done in the country without the budget? And now, for the fact that the Supreme Court even signaled that they are not even going in Fanatic Kofa direction, it's just logical for Joseph Boaga to side with the majority group. And now, if they require money to get that 49, they will do it because, look, the power of the press, the executive is the one that controlling the budget, or the one that executing the budget. So if Joseph Boaga just needs 7 presidents to get rid of Fanatic Kofa, he will spend any amount of, that's what make it tougher for the speaker. You're looking at the constitutional aspect. No, we are looking at the operational aspect. And we told you guys on the show that the Supreme Court cannot interpret law that does not exist. Yes, everybody quoting the Constitution. Article 60, Article 39. The question is, what happened when everything else failed? Why do you think Joseph Boaga telling you say I'm consulting with legal experts? No, Joseph Boaga understands the Supreme Court, their findings or their judgment is they are the final arbiter of the law.
Yeah. I want you to answer the question. Have you ever thought about how the Supreme Court arrived at that decision they made?
How they arrive?
Yeah, because how did the Supreme Court arrive at the decision they made not to side with the speaker?
With
Do
the
you know
speaker?
how that happened? I'm told the Supreme Court is listening to the executive, and whatever the executive said that what they would do, and that's exactly what they told them, not to interfere, let it leave it with the people, let it make the decision within the House of Representatives.
So it's open-ended.
Yeah, by the executive to let the House do their thing. And they know at the end of the day, they will recognize the majority bloc, and Fanatic Kofa will be left alone. They're not going to put gun to his head till you have to move. By the end of the day, they will sideline him, and they will work with the majority, and the government will continue to work. So whoever try now to say you're going to go and and disrupt those guys working, then they will use the power they have.
And the second thing is, even though the speaker is the legitimate speaker, like all the time, even when Milburn myself on the show, when you guys will go over a few days, I think Milburn, for the fact that this guy can say they are the plenary, they don't have the power to remove the speaker, but they have the power to conduct business. You can conduct business on the national budget. In the case of Fanatikova, he cannot. So the guy can say, okay, we can put the removal of the speaker on the sideline here. Let's deal with the budget, and then we can deal with that later. So who you think will be conducting all the budget? It will be the majority black. So at the end of the day, it still doesn't look good for the speaker. We want to respect the Constitution, but equally so, there are some limitations to the Constitution itself because it's open-ended in the case when it comes to the two separate blocks that want to preside over the budget. And everything now looks like the budget. The budget is the one that will shape the debate. And I know I can make a projection here that the executive will not let Fanatic Kofa to hold them hostage when it comes to the budget. That I know for sure. That's why I'm hanging my hat on the majority group. At the end of the day, they will be the winner in this thing. That's how I see it.
Well, why both of you are focused on the political and the judiciary or the legal aspect of this conversation, I'm looking at it from a different standpoint. And from what I'm seeing here is not only that these guys are hell-bent on removing Fanatikova, but they've resorted into the last move that is saved. Initially, they wanted to respect Fanatikova and not expose him to some extent and not take away public sentiment for him. They did not want to do that. But you can see that from the latest video, from the move that they made, they are all in now, not only to remove him, but to expose him and take up public sentiments away from him.
Oh, yeah.
To disgrace him now. In other words, to bring out all of his secrets, to bring out everything that they have been protecting concerning him, so that they do not look like the ugly ones, they do not look like the renegades or the rebel group, but they look as though they are appealing to the Liberian people to remove a corrupt or a man who has been pocketing money from the Liberian people, as evidenced by the video that just came out. So let's turn to the Liberian people here for them to.
Yeah. So Steve, before we go to the Liberian people, Honorable Koloba is on the line. He want to chip in.
Okay, let's go. Let's go for it. Yeah, Honorable Koloba, welcome to the show.
Honorable Koloba, you're live. Huh? No, we didn't hear the first voice here.
I said Steve need to bring the image down small.
Okay.
Nobody, including Joseph Walker, can disgrace the Speaker of the House. Look, you know what you're joking with? We're waiting for Joseph Walker to disrespect himself. Because I'm talking about the Constitution. When Joseph Walker disrespect himself, he will be former president. I said they will.
You always stage a coup d'etat.
They don't have to be coup d'etat.
So how is he going to be a former president?
Joseph Walker told all right. He said he will uphold and protect the Constitution of this country. If he doesn't respect the Constitution, he will be former president of this country.
How?
Anyway, it will be that way. Anyway, it will be that way. It can be by any means he will be former president of this country. This will be the last time that somebody will work on and say we'll remove president, but remove speaker, but the speaker say I will resign. For that thing, Kofa will never ever resign. We will fight to the last day.
So what will you guys do if the executive comply and cooperate with the majority, the so-called majority bloc, and give them legitimacy? How is that going to happen? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? But what will you do?
It's a challenge to Joseph Walker to do it. Let Joseph Walker disrespect the Constitution. That means there is no government. No, Joseph Walker, you remember Sekou? You remember one time I had a press conference and said that Joseph Walker is creating a scene for the chief of staff to take over this country.
Yeah.
We are reaching a point. Joseph Walker doesn't know what to do it.
No, but let me ask you this question. I beg you. Let me ask you this question.
Steve want to ask you a question. So please, if you don't mind.
Let me ask you this question. The budget, yesterday I listened to you. The budget process, from what you said, for all indication, legally, it goes straight to the speaker. Regardless of what it is, it goes to the speaker. And President Joseph Walker is aware of this. So my question to you is this. what if next week they turn the budget over to Thomas Faladen Group? What if next week Mo Ali and the other guys then who Thomas Faladen call to the quote unquote session to be interrogated? What if all of that happened? Doesn't that seem like they're giving legitimacy to them?
No. Seku, I mean, Steve, let me tell you something. You know, Joseph Boakai is playing with himself, and he's playing with his government. He's playing with him becoming the shortest president ever in the history of this country. And let me say how it will happen. Because you saw Joseph Boakai the first time he wanted to postpone to extend the time of the budget coming, he wrote the speaker of this country. I said it to you. You saw when he wrote the speaker, right? This time around, Joseph Boakai is in the country. He have not gone anywhere. Why you were allowed an acting minister to write the chief clerk to say we are consulting our lawyers. We are looking at the legal implication. Joseph Boakai playing game with himself. Joseph Boakai will be one of the shortest serving president of this country if he disrespects the constitution of this country. He will be disrespected and he will be the shortest serving president of this country. I said they will all regret.
Okay, let's see. Mo, do you have a question for Honorable Kolwa?
I have a question for the honorable man, because you know this thing, like I said, they think it got a constitutional aspect, it got an operational aspect from the house. Matter of fact, we got separation of power in Liberia. Yega Kolwa, my question to you is, we already get some indication from George Gbese, right? I think Yemi Yankwe or Yemi Sise, right? Or Kwekwe. What happens if you go to the full bench and they take the same position as this associate justice? Will you say in that case that the president is violating the constitution if you go to the majority black?
Let me tell you something. If the constitution cannot be interpreted by the full bench, then I mean there's no government.
No. Honorable Kolba, Mo is saying if the Supreme Court full bench,
take the same position.
The full bench and take the same position.
Justice Kwekwe.
Are you still going to accuse the president of not respecting the constitution?
The full bench cannot. The full interpret the constitution of this country. It is burning on them. It is forced for them to interpret the constitution. You think we're begging them? It is their job.
Yeah, but do you know that a Supreme Court can interpret the constitution? They can also issue opinion.
Any opinion that has been issued by the Supreme Court is a law. You know that.
Exactly. So we are asking you now.
Yes.
What if the Supreme Court? Hold on 1 second. What if the full bench of the Supreme Court decide to issue an opinion that will go in line with the initial decision by the.
Give your personal view and say, well, you the Supreme Court now give your view and think what it will say. So I can get you small.
Okay. Let's say, for example, the Supreme Court say, you know what? We're not going to interfere with the executive branch. The fact that you guys are divided, the majority with the quorum can carry on the business for
the government. Yeah.
What would you say?
They have endorsed rebel majority instead of constitutional majority. Sorry, I didn't go to school. They have endorsed rebel. If they come to that, that means the Supreme Court have endorsed rebel majority instead of constitutional majority. Look.
And then what will you do in that case?
That's what I'm asking.
Stop it.
No, we're just asking. What will you do in that case? How are you going to do that? You're going to tell the people. All right. Okay, let me ask you a question. Maybe do you have a question for the honorable?
Yes, I have a question. Honorable Koloba, let me say thank you so much for joining us and keep up the good work. But with this information coming from ECOWAS, that in fact they are coming in to negotiate or maybe to settle the dispute in the lower house, do you also see that as a slap maybe in the face of our government, or do you think that that also going to yield another good fruit, or maybe Nothing going to happen from ECOWAS visitation from the 11th to the 15th.
ECOWAS can only advance. It's a banning like ECOWAS. The ECOWAS gave a ruling in Kabila Jana case. ECOWAS said Kabila Jana was illegally impeached, like we said during the time the impeachment was going on. Did they hear us? They said no. It was Jungle just said impeachment. ECOWAS came back to say no, reinstate this man. Give you all his benefit. His proceeding was illegal. Joseph Boakai that Kabila Jana in campaign for. Have you heard or have you listened or have you taken on to ECOWAS ruling to say there is ECOWAS men and will enforce it? Look, ECOWAS will come and advance. When ECOWAS advance and nothing go on, when the time reach, when ECOWAS come, we'll put ECOWAS in one room and they will be in Itape and next time they will never come in them.
Honorable Koluba, let me ask Honorable Koluba the question.
They don't want to have it. Hold on, ECOWAS.
I hear people say, Seku, I hear people say, oh, you get scared. Seku, do I not scared? All the station were here. They don't go to the Prince Johnny said, you can't enter Nima, I enter Nima, I'm not crying the neck. You can't go to the country, I enter the country. Who ran away from the place? I like, oh, you get scared. You get people, you run away. You can run away. Seku, any attempt for anybody to disrespect the constitution, there will be former government in the country. All of us will be former.
Let me ask.
I don't know how that will happen, but Steve has a question for you.
Yeah.
Let me ask a question to Honorable Yega Koluba, because the point Honorable Yega Koluba making, as much as it sounds funny, it's very interesting, and I'm getting what he's saying. But let me ask him this question on the reverse. Honorable Yega Koluba, ECOWAS, I'm not sure who invited them into this matter, but they have infused themselves in the matter. Now, the world is watching.
They want to eat their own money.
My question to you is this, Honorable Yega Koluba. The fact that Joseph Boakai, you said it before, you predicted that Joseph Boakai is setting the stage for a conflict for his nephew to take over from the military or the army standpoint. Here's my question to you. Do you think Joseph Human Boakai want to continue to be president based on what he is doing?
From what I've seen, no, he don't want to. Because if he want to, he will not be undermining his own administration. Because let me tell you something. We receive a letter from the foreign ministry because the conference of Valley is supposed to be coming. I'm coming to send a letter to you, Seku. They address that letter to the speaker. You bring it Valley to the capital, the peace be to the archive. But you address that other letter to the speaker. But you want to be very crooked and rascal, you address that letter to the chief clerk. So let Joseph Boakai stop playing with fire. We are afraid, but we decide to respect the Constitution. Because we talk up and say we will protect and uphold the Constitution of this country. You see us being very moderate, now that we're not even violent. No, we're talking to our people, we're not there rich. We're not there rich. Joseph Boakai government will be former, we're not there rich. We'll pray for it to not rich.
Honorable Koluba,
yeah.
you know, we have hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions, listening to the radio in Liberia, talking about Liberians in Liberia. The statement you just made, I just want a clarification. It's the Supreme Court side. No, listen. I just want to be clear with this. The Supreme Court decide and gave legitimacy to those people, and Joseph Boakai comply with them. And you say Joseph Boakai will be a form of government. How is that going to happen? You don't have 30 people. You want to vote on the floor of the House of Representatives, and beyond that, there's nothing else you can do. Huh? But you have a legitimate government. If you do anything outside of the boundary, then the government will take care.
The justice in Chimo right to say I declare. The justice in Chimo declare to issue the rate. It is his right. It is right. The second, you know very well that the Supreme Court is supposed to interpret the Constitution of this country, right? We not say interpret political thing. We say this is a constitutional issue. Interpret the Constitution for us, so that the people can hear that we don't want to protect the Constitution of this country. So I don't think in my mind the Supreme Court want to be a part of the chaos of this country. Because anything up here, the Supreme Court judges will be involved. Everybody here in the country is interrelated.
So,
Everybody in the country is interrelated.
so Honorable Koluba, I asked the same questions. The same question to the people from the other side. Some of them to the other side. They told me, "Don't worry about it. If the government, if the executive work with us." Let me end my comment. Let me end my comment.
And so the judge in Chima say, we don't want to remove the speaker. We only carry complaint. Why they laugh before the judge in Chima? Why they see before the judge in Chima that want to remove the speaker? Why?
So
the judge in Chima say, we don't want to remove the speaker. All the people they passing around $150,000. Calling us that they want to get $150,000. Anybody
did you receive the call too?
I received call from Colette today, James Colette. I received call from for the family today.
They told you they want to give you $150,000, both of them.
They want to give you $150,000 US.
So for the family and James Colette told you they're going to give you $150,000 for you to join them.
Yes. After for the family this morning, also coming this morning. You understand what I'm saying? So let me say this to the Liberian people. Everybody that listen to SKTV, us, including Yeke Koliba, that go to that group, that will receive $150,000. $150,000 US. That people desperate, Jeremiah Kun, that always sacrifice family for a minute for job business.
Wow. All right. Any of you have one final question for the honor before we let him go?
For me, I want
to also make sure if we can get to Fode or James Colette to one of them to come and confirm this information Honorable Koluba is giving. Yeah, but they may not deny, but maybe they will deny that they give you the tweet. They'll give you $150,000. Did you record it? But did you record the call? Did you record the conversation?
No. They call me after James. For the family call me. James call me.
Okay. Honorable Koluba, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, I already want to say something. Anyway, there you go.
Okay. Honorable, hold on. More is something before you go. Mo, go ahead.
Honorable Koluba, I'm not speaking on behalf of SKTV as my personal opinion, right? We love your advocacy. We love what you do. Matter of fact, we are some of your biggest fans, and the Liberian people can attest to how you've been holding the line. Even sedition or people within the ruling party, we cannot question your advocacy at the same time your job as a lawmaker. But one thing I want you to understand, that's why Einstein said politics is more complicated than even physics. Let me just tell you something. When you read the very Constitution, you want to be an advocate for the Constitution. What we've been saying on SKTV here is the Supreme Court cannot interpret law that does not exist. I don't know what happened behind the scene in terms of money, because I know that you have some information that we on SKTV are not privileged to. All I am saying, if you want to go with the Constitution, your very Article 66, because this speaker reached out, we've already, or how they call it, speaker reached out, and the Associate Justice opined on this particular issue. And it seemed like he's leaning with the majority group, and you guys want to take it to the full bench. Don't forget, there are two options in the case. You guys were given the right to self-govern, that is when you have dispute among yourself, you should be able to settle this thing. If you cannot come up with a conclusion, the last result will be the Supreme Court. Now, if you go to the Supreme Court full bench by saying, okay, we are not accepting the opinion of the Associate Justice. If the full bench will take the same position as Judge Yami Kwekwe or whosoever the name is, at that stage, then you guys will be in violation if you cannot accept it. That's why I just want you to understand, because You have nobody else to go to other than the Supreme Court. So if the entire bench will lean in the direction of the majority black, if anybody opposes that particular ruling, then you will be in violation by virtue of Article 66 of the Constitution as well. So then Joseph Boakai cannot be in violation of the law because he will have to move the country forward. He will have to execute the budget. So in that case, if the full bench or SAR with the findings of the Associate Justice, then Joseph Boakai doing business with the majority black cannot be a violation of the Constitution by law. That's all I'm saying.
No, but you see, President Moore, you see, for me, I didn't go to school. You both went to school. But from what I know legally, it is the right of the justice in Timor to say he declined to issue the rate. It is his right. It is his right of us to say we are going up to the full bench. You ask any councillor.
But Mr. O'Connor, you
understand what I'm saying? So it is the right of the. So we shouldn't prejudge the Supreme Court full bench. No people, they are lawyers. No people are placed on the full bench to make sure that the country is peaceful and the country is safe. So for people to say they will lean on the side of the people, I don't believe it or they're happy.
All right.
So President Moore, all the people get why they for the justice in Timor to say we're not moving, we're not moving the speaker. We're not be Article 49. We're not looking for the signature. I got recording at the Senate on one of your sister radio station. On phone. They say we'll not be Article 49 again. We'll be somebody carry complaint. So the changing it. No people making big mouth. For the big confirm speakership, something will be the last something that people will get over and say, I want to speaker. Then speakership with the Soviet government. Watch the process and see. If Joseph Boakai go against the Constitution, the reason why we say we're changing former president, we are because we say the laws are not respected. We brought somebody that we say work for the 6 years in government, 12 years on a political Maradona. Eddie Johnson Salim, Mana Salim. So I believe in my mind, Joseph Boakai was not sleeping. He was leaning on a Mana Salim. And he was respecting the Constitution. We brought him to not do business as usual. Joseph Boakai, if Joseph Boakai disrespect the Constitution and go against the Constitution that we're trying to uphold, Joseph Boakai will be former president. If it is a threat, I can call back issuing it.
Yeah, but Honorable Colbert, somebody could just consider that as a mere threat. I mean, what will you do? Yeah, no. What I'm saying is somebody would just say you're just a mere big mouth. You know, you're not going to do anything because you're just trying to put fear and thinking that somebody's going to buy down to that.
When you call me that morning to say, former president, we want to announce their own result. You need to put your people outside like you depending on to go celebrate. Where was Joseph Boakai when you couldn't even press the transfer? Why you couldn't get for to go celebrate? He called me to get outside the blow the alarm. And according to him, when we talk to international people, to say when your blood alarm will put pressure on former president, we are to concede. After I put people outside to celebrate, you know what the real cat of me? I raised my left. For them men, I couldn't press the transfer and close. So setting the president, they said today. And this is how we will change former president we are for. I got in a street of people before the international community put pressure on former president. We have to say you got to concede. I can't call him out. Who are you to do it? Who? Then you see I got Pima. Well, Joseph Boakai trying now. I will talk on my platform tomorrow. I will tell you what I will do. I don't
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, but that time you change government the right way. But tell the people can't do much. All right, man. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Oh, God. Yeah, okay. Wow.
Well, I think in America we're laughing with this thing. This is a serious thing.
It
I
is
mean,
a serious thing.
Steve, let me tell you, that's Liberia. There's
Yeah.
nothing serious about Liberia. Nothing will happen. Nobody will do whatever they want to do.
Yep.
And and other people, they can't do anything.
That's why I want him to
Liberia is a
understand.
lawless country. Those who in power, they own the country, they own the people, they own everything, they do whatever they want to do, and nothing can happen. I can guarantee you. When will not happen? You're going to come to a time, somebody put in a story again, and they will leave them.
Yeah, with that kind of a money being offered to, I don't know how many of your friends will be able to stay.
You know how many people getting? You're getting plenty of money, boy. They say we're going to give you 150,000 instantly. So some of them will pay, some of them will, they will follow.
Second, you are right. Second, you are right, because people that were supporting Yeke Koruba yesterday, when he used to say some of these things, they are all angry today. So it's like we're going nowhere. So you're right.
So I think we can take some calls. I don't know if people can take a call. We can take a call from here. People have been calling me.
Yeah, because we gotta go. We have another program on our back.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
So maybe on Judge Bill, let's take a few calls from here and see what happens.
Yes, what I'm saying. So maybe 5 or 10 minutes, then we.
Okay. Benjamin Jonah, the owner of physician. What's up, man? What's going on?
Yeah, hello. Yeah.
You're
Thank
live.
you for having me. Yeah, thank you. So there are two things I first want to strike here. First, Mong is saying why if the full bench does what the justice said. But Mong needs to understand that the justice did not give any ruling. So he did not give any ruling. He declined to have the stay order that he himself put on the last time to have it to continue. So in the second time when it went, there was no ruling. So there will be nothing for the full bench to go after what he said. However, I am a little bit confused, and I hope you guys don't take it very hard.
No, we're good.
To be considered as the fourth estate. And so I think what the media needs to be doing is to speak out to the law. That is to say, the right thing that is needed to be done. So we have to be educating the people on the right thing. We know that at the end of the day, the government has the right to do the wrong thing. But the media should always be in the business of explaining to the people the right thing that is to be done. What are the right things? The right thing that is to be done here is that the speaker is the legitimate speaker of the House. The other group that went outside when the speaker is still alive, they cannot run a quorum. That's not a quorum. A quorum will have to be run by the leader. Who is the leader of the House? It is the speaker. So these things, this is what the media needs to be doing, to be educating the people.
We are doing our part, but we can only talk. We can't. We don't have any enforcement power.
We still have to keep.
And we still have to give everybody the opportunity to come and speak out like you are doing right now, like Honorable Kolba was on. Everybody else.
But the media is completely different from the ordinary people.
True.
As an ordinary person, we have our own thing that we want to say as to what we want to say. But what we want to keep let the media hold the line and say this is the right thing to be done. And if the government does this one is wrong, and this other side does the one is wrong. I mean, that's just
but something that is a legal matter, you can only, listen, reading the Constitution and interpreting the Constitution is different, though. You know that? We can all read the Constitution, but when we are not clothed with the authority to interpret the Constitution, anything we say, they say, yeah, nobody, you're talking. They don't know what they're talking about. But anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So let's take 2 more calls. Let's take Abraham, then we'll go to the other person here, then we'll go to John Maulole after that. Abraham, are you there?
Hello?
Yeah, Abraham Corner from New Jersey, right? Go ahead. Yeah, quickly, we're taking a few calls.
Thanks to Steve and Monk, and of course, Mabel in Liberia. Great topic, the issue with the Supreme Court, the justice in chamber, in my opinion, what I gathered from his decision was that he could not put a stay order on the functions of the so-called majority group, because he said that Speaker Kofa was not removed as a speaker, so he could not instruct these people to put him back to compare to preside. I think that was a decision, but in the initial decision. So my confusion here is that he's going to conflict himself, because initially he put a stay order. He said people should go back to status quo. And later on, he came back and said, "Oh, he cannot put a prohibition on their gathering, as compared to go in the House of Representatives chamber, as compared to where the gathering in the joint session." So I think that was his position, and then it lies in the purview of the full bench. That is, if Speaker Kofa Black goes to the full bench, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
The problem in Liberia is the deception and the very government trying to undermine themselves.
Yeah.
You understand? They're trying to undermine their own self, because under no condition, it's now that the budget should be reported to the speaker, not to a clerk. So if it goes in that direction, it will be a violation of the Constitution. So if anything is passed on, why still have a sitting speaker?
So it also depends on what is the precedent within their the bureaucracy they have in there. Normally, if the document can go through the chief clerk and then to the speaker, then if they send it to the chief clerk, that would not be a violation. If the chief clerk now, instead of sending it to the speaker, sending it to the renegade group, then that's something else.
Any issue that goes to the House of Representatives is brought for deliberation by the speaker.
If the speaker has a quorum to conduct business.
To conduct business.
Yeah, but if the speaker does not have, then that means whatever document that will be put to heart.
Yeah, I have a one caller here.
Anticipating to get that chief justice position, because mind you, the current chief justice is going to be out. And then this guy that on the bench already, they're anticipating to being appointed as chief justice. So along here, there's a lot of in between over there. I think you have to point that out.
Thank you, sir. All right, so we'll go to this caller here, and then we'll go to Maul, and then we'll go to Steve. And that's it. Caller, what is your name? Where are you calling from? 5333.
My name is Momo Tule. I'm calling from Georgia.
Momo Tule?
So, yeah,
I'm
calling from Georgia.
Yes, sir.
So, this whole thing, I think, boys, that, from the inception of this entire saga, the president, the executive was very careful in how they thread, right? They were trying not to interfere with the other branch of government. They wanted those guys to handle their business, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you notice what Joseph Boaga did, right? He's a very savvy politician, right? He was very careful, very, meticulous in how he handled this issue. But, after this ruling came down from the justice or one of the justices of his Supreme Court, right?
Mm.
It sort of turned the entire page, right? And then he had to reassess the entire situation, right? And then you're looking at Jonathan Kofa, who is the legitimate speaker, but he's now an embattled speaker. He doesn't have the number to do the people's business, right? And you cannot hold the entire country. They cannot be a stalemate right now. The country has to move on, right? The reality is there. Yeah, he's a legitimate speaker. But you know what? On the other hand, the country has to move on. There is a political machine. This whole thing has been politicized. So the so-called, majority bloc now has that, they have the ability not to they are being looked at now as the group that they're going to work with. Because if, for instance, if the president sends the budget to Kofa, it is still he doesn't have the number to conduct the business. How would the budget be passed? So it just makes sense that this entire thing that the executive should rather go with the so-called majority bloc, because I think from what the opinion that has been rendered by that judge surely shows that the entire conversation is tilted towards the so-called majority bloc. If they have the number to conduct the Liberian people's business, and the country has to move on. And Kofa is our Kofa, even though it seems that he's been someone, he's been, unfairly treated, but that's politics. This has been politicized. No one is looking at the constitutionality of this entire thing, and now it's being politicized. So let him, for me, do the need for just, you know what? Let me just, for the sake of the country moving forward, let me just step down, let these guys take their thing. I will still be unique when I took over. I will still be who I am, and then let the country move on. That's my opinion.
Thank you. Let's go to Mr. John Mawolo, and then we'll go to Steve. Mr. Mawolo, are you there? Okay, we lost Mr. Mawolo. Hopefully he will call back. Steve, take your caller.
Hello?
We didn't hear you though.
Hello,
Yeah, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
this is Shema Douglas. Good afternoon to you, Sekou, and Melbo. Look, I'm not calling to speak from a constitutional standpoint. Because wherever way it goes...
Who is that? What is the name of I didn't hear the person's name though. The person didn't call their name, Steve.
He called your name. Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we didn't hear. It didn't come through.
Oh.
Yeah, like I'm saying, I'm not calling to speak from a constitutional standpoint, because wherever way it goes, the executive will always have a way. My concern is what is in it for the Liberian people, because all branches of government are undermining themselves. They are contradicting themselves, undermining themselves with the rule of law. At the end of the day, the Liberian people suffer. So what is in it for the Liberian people? Regardless which way it goes, Speaker Kofa stays, Speaker Kofa goes, but the Liberian people intend to suffer at the detriment of this politician. I think we should be educating our people more than we just sitting and speaking to these radicals what they think, what they want to do for themselves. We just need to educate our people more. But after the show, you guys are doing a great job. But at the end of the day, the Liberian people are the ones to suffer the pain of the radicals.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman.
Right.
Well, that was it for me, from my end.
Yeah, who is that, Steve? You said the person calling him. Who is it?
Chairman Dugley?
Oh, okay. Dugley from Minnesota?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Mawolo,
Yeah.
you're the last caller. Quickly, we got to go.
No, we Liberian people, if we want peace in our country, we need to stop this foolishness about, just for the country's sake. And the people who are acting radical, what do you think about the country's sake? The judge didn't pass any ruling. The judge's decision was based on the fact that this group of 43 told him that they were just having a meeting. They didn't even have a resolution. They just wanted to lay complaint. That's what they told the judge. And based on that, the judge said, okay, then I can stop you from having a meeting. So that's why it was, let's not buy this nonsense, but the judge ruled. The judge didn't rule on anything. So the next thing is that Joseph Boga is totally aware of what was going on. These people are working on his behalf, and nobody must try to fool themselves or try to lie to people acting like Joseph Boga didn't know. It was based on that he even took this man out of the country, hoping that they could do it behind the man. Let's put right where right belongs. What Joseph Boga and his crew are doing is wrong, and somebody needs to stand up. Otherwise, this country will be unruly. Because if we agree today that 43 people can just come and say, somebody talking about quorum, there is no quorum. Because if they got 43 and they got the so-called quorum, they got no power. And if the speaker doesn't have 37, he got no quorum, but he has the power.
So nobody has anything. The country is at a standstill. Joseph Walker need to stop the nonsense. Let the people get for the 49 and move them if they can.
Thank you.
It's not an easy process to move a speaker, and the forefathers didn't want it to be easy. So unless the speaker decides I will resign, they got no easier way. There's nothing for the country.
Yeah, but they want to strangulate him. They want to force him to resign. They want to strangulate him until he resigns.
You can't force him because he said no. The country is sits down, and they are the ones who causing it to sit down because they don't have the number to move it. The Constitution says if you don't have 49, you sit, you butt down there until you get 49. That's
all right.
what the Constitution says.
All right, Mr. Mauro. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you. Steve, back to you.
Well, folks, it was an interesting conversation for the day. Mr. Kane, let's give our partner comments, and I'll be headed to you over there to take care of business.
Yeah, we've been running a little late, so hopefully you'll come right away. Yeah, so for me to close, I think Liberia, we are at the crossroad right now. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but what I know today, where I sit, and where we are accustomed to as a country, as people, we are now a serious country. You don't fool yourself. Don't fool yourself to say anything will happen if the Constitution is violated. Liberia, we violate the Constitution every day. The president in question does not respect the Constitution. The lawmaker that we are talking about right now, including Fanatic Kofa, they don't respect the Constitution. The judicial people, they don't respect the Constitution. Everybody's just doing their own thing. And guess what? The strongest will prevail. Not because you have law on your side, not because you are legal, not because you are legitimate. It's about who got the power on their side. And the power in our country is the money. Who got the money? The executive. All of them, they don't respect rule of law. Imagine there was a budget that was somehow tampered with. That was not investigated, and they went ahead. They add more money to the budget. Under the same speaker, under the same president, under the same House of Representatives. So, Liberian people, we are just living by the mercy of God. If you want to depend on law and order, respect for Constitution, you remain hanging in the balance forever. That's all I got to say, Steve. Nobody respects law in our country.
Oh, what say you?
Well, my parting comment for today is very simple. I hear people with their views. You know, in our politics, they always want you to take sides. So all the comments coming, oh, SKTV, you guys don't want to educate us. Look, we are not here to interpret the Constitution. We are just giving you the kind of the ambiguity or the loophole that people can exploit in the Constitution. We told you on SKTV, removal or impeachment are not always constitutional. They are political process also. Even in the great United States, a president don't have to commit a crime before he can be removed from office. You can use politics to remove a president from the United States of America. That's just one instant. All we are saying, the people who are bringing this fight against Fanatic Kofa, they are no fools. They got so many options. Why do you think Clarence God came out with that video? Because it's a reassurance that if you cannot remove yourself, or if you cannot be removed or resign, we have so many tools at our disposal. We got you on the record for budget, for money that was stolen. And he gave you the exact amount. So I don't know what you guys arguing about. All I wanted to tell Yeke is, Yeke, there's a very simple thing. When you have a constitutional crisis, the very constitutional thing, you should go to the Supreme Court. And you are saying that Mr. Mauro said, oh, the men all part of ruling. He just said, okay, if you guys don't have a meeting, but they are telling you now, we already have a resolution that even the 43 want to be audited, and the speaker is suppressing or holding or withholding certain information. They are just telling Fanatic Kofa, we got so many options to remove it at the end of the day. I'm just telling Yeke, if it goes to the full bench and the full bench lean toward the majority bloc, then Joseph Boakai cannot be in violation because the Constitution said the Supreme Court is the final arbiter of the law. They are the one that will pass a decision. So all the president could do, he could just hold the budget for a few more days and see how far the thing go. If the full bench lean in the direction of the majority bloc, then there is no way Joseph Boakai is in violation of the Constitution, no matter how you say it, because it means the people who were given the authority to intervene in a constitutional crisis, they make that decision and the president cannot be in violation. But Yaka Koluba, in her cases, everything Joseph Boakai, I don't think he's right on this issue. If the Supreme Court leans in one direction, then the president cannot be in violation. That's all I was trying to say. But that's it for today. That's my part.
Let me get my own closing comment here quickly. Let me say it to the Liberian people. I'm not here to educate you. Because when we educate you, y'all say the people that who know the Liberian politics that then y'all want. I'm not here to educate y'all. If any one of y'all think in your mind that I'm here to waste my time to educate y'all, then they don't you can insult us and y'all go vote the way y'all want to vote, you're wasting your time. I'm not about that foolishness with you. I will say as I see it. I will call you as I see it. And may you vet your business. You won't go read Constitution, go read it. What I'm saying here, next time you will vote right. Election got consequences. You can't waste my time to go sit and say I'm educating people that who already made up their mind to do what is wrong to themselves. We warn you. We educated you on the platform during the election. We informed you. We brought the profiles of all these politicians. You cursed us. You insulted us. You disrespected us. You denigrated us. I see people passing around talking about educate you. You ain't get work to do. You want to listen at your business. Me, I will say as it is. Look, let me tell you something. I'm responsible for my words. I stand by what I say on this platform. I'm not educating your own point. Anything you want to do, you do it. You want interim government at your business. You want to remove Joseph Boakai at your business. You want to remove financial. What thing concern me? The thing that concern me is to tell you and rub it in your faces. You're not ready for seriousness. You're not ready for education. You're not like good people. You're not like educated people. You're like fools. You're like criminals. You're like idiots. You're like people who will use you. So guess what? That's why you'll get. And me, I stand with you. I agree. Let the country be noisy as it can be. That your business. At the end of the day, I'm still working. I'm still doing so that means so waste my time educate you. You ain't ready yet.
Steve, the thing is, the reason they say we're not educating on this issue because they assume that we are against fanatic cover, that we agree the Constitution, and we are not.
Educate who? Educate the man to do what is wrong.
I know, right?
Who have look, knowingly, you make excuses to not do what is right. All the time you're passing around saying Joseph Boakai the wise man and you save the country. You know that Joseph Boakai, you didn't know that. We told you that this will be what you will get. You say, oh, fuck Boakai. I mean, so it's my time to educate you. I'm not here to do that foolishness. I will call it as it is. I will speak as I speak. I don't care you. In fact, I don't care about you anyway because at the end of the day, I don't know you, don't know me. It is what it is. I don't know you, don't know me. My life is not dependent on you. I'm not looking forward to you. I will go push my hour. I will do what I'm supposed to do. That you're also going to educate. You're ready for education. You're like education. And you told you, we are saying nobody will vote for you. Or that today you have no education. I'm not here for that. The people who want education, let them go do that show and educate you. The people who know that education is important, y'all go do your show and educate them. I'm not going to waste my time here with you. Educating. You can't do it.
You running college, right? At Tomafala University.
I will say, I said, y'all go to Tomafala and South Joseph University. Y'all go to Jeremiah University. Let me educate you there. You're like education. You're like educated people. No, you're done. You're done. You're let people who can use you. You're let the kind of noise there. You're let the kind of yo-yo there. And the thing that you're like, so mean that the one I subscribe. Anything you're let that aid me, I support. I support the government to be in yo-yo, in disarray, in noise, and they must steal from you. I support them. Why you want? So me, I support it. Anything they want to let them do it. They want to remove Joseph Boakai out of the business. They want to remove Fanatico out of the business. They want to go to Supreme Court out of the business. Anything they do, I agree. Next time you'll vote right. The day you vote right, then me, I'll bring education. Until then, I inside with you, go educate you. Mama, man, will talk a little bro, I'll call you your education. And your voting way of voting.
Take that, bro. Let me lay out to you.
There are things we can do. We bring it good news and we give it to you. We touch it for 40 years, connecting people and culture from here and up out of the club. Qualified people who willing to serve. Blessing that time and that effort. There are things we can do. We bring it